the Wolverine, or as I like to call it, the good Wolverine film. X-Men Origins Wolverine does not exist in this world, and yes, I'm doing another review in the same day as I did X-Men First Class because I really gotta speed up these X-Men reviews, as well as my Turtles review, which I'm gonna speed up with that too, starting with tomorrow. So let's get started with the good Wolverine film, The Wolverine. My opinion on The Wolverine is very mixed. I really do like some stuff in this film. There's some stuff in this film that was very boring. Like, some of the stuff in this movie I thought I was kind of falling asleep on. But then, at the end of the film, it kind of got weird a little bit. I'm like, what? It feels very, very out of place. But really, after watching this movie, again, really collecting my thoughts on The Wolverine is a pretty good movie. It does have a lot of flaws in this movie. It really does have a lot of flaws. It's not a terrible movie. It's not a great movie by any chance. But it's one of those middle ground comic book films, like, oh, that comic book film, though, that was okay. That was alright. Just like Captain America the First Avenger, or the first Thor film. That was okay. No, that was alright. So pretty much the Wolverine is about, Wolverine is still grieving over the death of Jean Grey after X-Men The Last Stand. Because yes, I will be too, because X-Men The Last Stand was a crappy film. It really was. That was mediocre. But anyways, he meets this Asian woman named Yukio. She takes him to Japan. She cleans them all up, gets him a haircut and everything. Then he meets this old guy who is dying. Basically, he's telling Wolverine that he needs his powers. And basically, Wolverine is telling him, you don't want what I got. And basically, I'm just gonna stop the plot right there because there's a lot of things in this film, which, like I said before, I'm really mixed about this film because I really like a lot of stuff in this film. And there's some stuff in this film that I'm kind of like, I'm getting kind of bored right now. Then the last half of this movie was all like, what? This feels like a completely different film. But the Wolverine, like I said, I like this film. I really enjoy it. It's like I said, it's not a crappy movie. It's not fan-forstic, or it's not X-Men Origins of Wolverine. Actually, this is probably the best we can get from a Wolverine film until next year in March. So like I said, we got another year if Wolverine 3 will be better than this film. But so far, it's so good. This movie is good. Like I said, it's one of those middle ground comic book films that, like Iron Man 2, or the first Thor film and the first Captain America film. But it's one of those middle ground comic book films that you're just like, that was okay. That was alright. And to me, it's my opinion, I think 2013 was the worst year for comic book films, which I wasn't born in the 90s, so I'm not gonna say in the 90s. So I mean, we had Iron Man 3, which was terrible in some parts, but at the end of the day, I still enjoy Iron Man 3. Man of Steel wasn't really a big of a fan, but I liked it more and more as I watched it. But still, even though I liked it more and more, still wasn't that huge of a fan of it. Thor: The Dark World, it was okay at some points, but at the end of the day, it was And this film, it's okay. It's pretty good, you can say. But like I said, I think 2013 was the worst year for comic book films, in my opinion, because you had a not so good comic book films that year. But I think Iron Man 3 was the best out of that year. But, you know, Iron Man 3 was pretty good, but not really great. It had some, like, what the F moments in that film. But anyways, back to this movie. Even though I don't love this film, I gotta say, this is the best performance Hugh Jackman gives as Wolverine out of all the 6 films we had at that time. And, of course, Days of Future Past, you know, that wasn't really my favorite performance as Wolverine, which I will get into later. But in this film, he does a pretty darn good job as Wolverine. Like I said, this is my favorite performance of this character in any of the films. You can definitely see the passion and love that he has for this character. Action scenes in this film are pretty great, especially the train scene in this film, which is, by the way, my favorite scene in this film. It really just was the main highlight of this whole film. The action was phenomenal. The cinematography was great. Most of the action scenes in this film were pretty great. I have nothing to say bad about the action in this film. They were pretty cool to watch. It was just some of the things about this film that really bugged me, which I will get into right now. Jean Grey ghosting got old very, very fast after her first appearance in this film. I know, It's great to see Famke Janssen back as Jean Grey. Yes, Wolverine is still guilty over him killing Jean Grey in X-Men The Last Stand, but it just got very old. Very fast, and I just got annoyed by that. Also, the final act of the spell with Wolverine facing against the Silver Samurai felt like it belonged in a completely different film. You see where the film was going in the first hour of this film until he fought against the Silver Samurai. The film just completely changes. It changed completely, the tone just completely changes to very serious, very emotional, very drama-filled superhero film. Then it just changes it to a period like Avengers, like popcorn, fun, action everywhere. It felt like that, and it felt very out of place. Very out of place. It worked for Civil War. It worked for that. It was very drama-filled the first act. The later on became more of an action-oriented film. It worked for Civil War, but in this film, it didn't really fit at all. That's pretty much all I gotta say about the Wolverine. Honestly, it's not a terrible movie. It's not an awful movie. Like I said, it's one of those comic book films I'm just really I just think it's okay. Just think it's alright. It's not, like I said, it's not a terrible movie. It's not an awful movie. It had its great moments, and it had its not so good moments. But yeah, the Wolverine is one of those comic book films. I'm gonna give the Wolverine a B-. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm not sure what my next review will be. It could be either TMNT or Days of Future Past. In case you're wondering, I watched Turtles 3, and I cannot get through that film at all, God. That movie is awful. But anyways, what do you think of the Wolverine in the comment section down below? If you are new to my channel, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.